Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Mizuno. A beautiful sunset here in Sulphur, Louisiana on World Softball Day, and the fans have braved what have been rainy conditions all day long to get out to McMurray Park to see the Volts and Bandits in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Last night, Wisz, the hero, in a 9-inning thriller as she helped Odyssey Alexander outduel Rachel Garcia in what turned into a really impressive pitcher's duel last night. So Wisz just doing what she does, coming through big for her team early in the season. Alongside the two-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kempf. This is just a 24-game season. The Bandits win tonight. They could be as many as 2 games ahead already in the standings.
And that's why that win for them last night, extra innings, was so big. Just as a game that was going back and forth, it was anybody's game. But to win a game like that in extras and walk it off is huge in this short season.
They've won in a lot of different ways in these first few games of the season. Last night it was offense, 11 hits. That's a season high.
The Bandits' offense is rolling. Extra base hits, including home runs. They lead the league in all of those categories, but also in batting average, on base percentage. This is a team that is continuing to step up 1 through 9. Wisz has had a lot of big swings. She was a hero last night. Jordan Roberts has a couple of home runs, and so does Bubba Nichols, Camarena. But this offense is swinging the bat. 50% of their hits are extra base hits. Lots of pop in their lineup 1 through 9, leading the league in all of these categories.
Yeah, average slugging percentage on base, home runs already 6 of them. We've seen that from numerous characters in this lineup. We'll see if they can continue that tonight. On the other side, the Volts do have a very dangerous lineup. Amanda Lorenz, though, at the top of the order, is the only Volts player that is in the same spot in the lineup as last night. Everyone has moved around. Coffey goes from number 9 to number 2. Newland comes in for Romero, who took a knock to the head in the outfield last night. She'll be in that 8-hole. The former LSU Tiger playing back in Louisiana. First pitch swinging for Lorenz, and that's a good start for the left-hander Emily Kennedy out of Texas A&M. Big-time pickup in the draft. This was somebody that a lot of people had their eye on. Where was the big lefty going to go? Not a ton of lefties in the league. She's got a chance to be really good.
She's just really unique. She stands at over 6 feet tall and throws really hard from the left-hand side. Goes to her rise ball the most. So far, haven't seen her a lot, just a couple of innings that we've seen her in relief, but this is her first start as a rookie.
She was the 7th overall pick in the AUSL college draft as Coffey's trying to lay down a bunt and falls behind 0-2. Kennedy's college career, really both of these players at the plate right now, between Danieca Coffey at LSU and Emily Kennedy at Texas A&M. Neither of them had the finish to their college careers that they would have liked. Both hosted a regional, both lost and did not make it to the Supers.
Yeah, they've seen each other a lot, going back to just this regular season, playing LSU, playing A&M. And I'm sure being from Texas, playing travel ball against each other as well.
Back-to-back first-team All-SEC nods for Emily Kennedy. Wait for a great pitching mind at your alma mater, Texas A&M, and Trisha Ford, who really kind of tweaked how Kennedy approached things her last 2 seasons there. Hard hit ball right side. Coffey has the first hit of the night.
Danieca Coffey has just been on fire. She's not going to have a ton of extra base hits, but she's going to do like this a lot. Just short to the ball, hard ground balls through the infield. Even when she swings away, she can also slap. She has speed. That's a big reason why they moved her up in the lineup, is because she has just been so hot. Finds another way on.
7 hits. This is just her 5th game of the season. Here's another one who's been hot out of the gates. Tiare Jennings had a 3-run home run in her only hit last night. Both teams led at one point in that game. We had 8 runs in the first 4 innings last night, just 3 runs in the last 5 innings when Rachel Garcia and Odyssey Alexander entered the game. There's strike 2 on the outside corner.
Yeah, last night she hit that 3-run home run. Tiare Jennings just has so much power. That was a towering shot. And sky high, just continue to travel.
When you think Oklahoma and you think home runs, you think Jocelyn Allo, Lauren Chamberlain. Tiare Jennings hit 98. 4-time first-team All-American. That's going to be a base hit on the ground up the middle.
A piece of two-strike hitting by Tiare Jennings. That was a changeup, and she was able to sit back on it. And Emily Kennedy had gotten her a couple of times with her drop ball. Looked like not necessarily a pitch that she wanted to deal with, and they go to a changeup with 2 strikes, and Tiare just sends it right back up the middle of the field. Good 2-strike swing.
Jennings hitting over 400 on the young season. Kennedy retired Amanda Lorenz on 1 pitch, and now back-to-back singles down to Mackenzie Clark, who has been swinging a big bat early on. Couple home runs for her, including last night.
Mackenzie Clark is just so explosive at the plate. The ball just flies off of her bat. She's so powerful, athletic, and has that home run power, but they can also just lay down a bunt if she wanted to, keep you on your toes. And had that home run as well last night. She has that full power, man. Lots of power to the left side.
And a ton of swagger. She plays with so much energy. Hitters count for Clark 3-0. Four-pitch walk to load the bases here in the first. Rachel Garcia.
Emily Kennedy is just not really getting off the edges here in the start. New home plate umpire than what we had last night. The strike zone is supposed to be a little bit wider, but I don't see that so far at this point in the game. A couple of pitches that I think should have gone for strikes for her. Getting that one right there at the knees, so maybe the strike zone is going to be a little bit more lower in the zone. She's going to need to rely more on her drop ball than her rise ball.
Garcia just 1 for 9 at the plate on the season, but she can change it in one swing. Nice pitch by Kennedy for strike 2.
It's a great change of speeds. 70 from the left-hand side is tough. It's unusual, it's unique, and then when you bring in a changeup like that, pitch that she wasn't extremely comfortable with in college, it's a great pitch for her.
Popped up, could be a big out. A lot of room back on this backstop. Wisz tracks it down. She was at third base last night, over at first now. We've seen her catch this season as well.
It's a huge out with Rachel Garcia up. Bases loaded, getting her to pop up on that rise ball after a 4-pitch walk, went right after her.
Jessie Warren at the plate. She's dropped down to the 6 hole as part of all those changes in the Volts lineup last night. Warren fouls that away.
Good job by Emily Kennedy after walking Mackenzie Clark on 4 pitches and then going right at Rachel Garcia, getting ahead of Jessie Warren, 0-2. Just trying to figure out the strike zone. Already thrown 21 pitches in this inning, so the Volts have to feel good about how many pitches they've already made her throw in this first inning.
Warren just 1 for 7 after a 3 for 8 start with a couple RBIs. That'll go down as a foul ball.
We've seen that a lot from Jessie Warren in her career. Just spoiling pitches with 2 strikes like that, barely getting a piece of it.
Little half-hearted swing. McKinney in foul territory somehow picks it off the turf.
The Bandits needed that. She was not over at third base in last night's game, but she gets a start there today. That's a check swing trying to spoil another 2-strike pitch, but Sydney McKinney says not on my watch. Laying it out with the bases loaded, helping out her rookie pitcher getting out of that jam.
Kennedy strands the bases loaded in the first. Already another tough start for the Volts with runners in scoring position. Now the Bandits trying to give their rookie pitcher a little bit of run support early in this game after a season-high 11 hits last night. Jordan Roberts in the 8-hole, homered last night. Also came up big in the 7th after a defensive miscue from herself in the top of that inning. Ended up tying that game and sending us to extras. This is a team who has hit 9 for 24 after really struggling out of the gates, starting just 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. They will face off with Mariah Masson out of Oregon State. Played a season in Japan in 2023. What does she bring to the table?
Yeah, throws with good velocity. She'll work her drop ball the most up to this point in the season. Has only thrown 3 innings so far with a screwball and a curveball. You'll notice that her curveball is a little bit slower as well as her rise ball than her drop ball, which comes in as her fastest pitch at 68 miles an hour.
Masson was the 39th overall selection in the AUSL allocation draft. A career .374 ERA. Little slap from Morgan Zirkle. Stays in the batter's box, foul. Zirkle mic'd up for us tonight. We'll get to talk to her out in center field later in this game. Head coach at her alma mater, Marshall. Second place finish in the Sun Belt this year. 31-23 overall record. Takes that for a ball. Hard hit toward Coffey, who scoops it up. 1 out. Danieca Coffey, who we watched play third base all year for LSU, playing second base now. Kelly Kretschmann told us yesterday when we talked to her, just got to get the bats in the lineup. If you're swinging it, they'll find a spot for you defensively.
There's a lot of bats in this league on each of the teams. You can say the Volts have a really good lineup. The Bandits have everybody has a really good lineup here. I mean, this is just elite athletes, the best of the best.
Runs up and in and gets Skylar Wallace, who was hit last night as well.
He's been hit now 3 times in these 2 games. 4 times on the season, and 3 have just been past 2 nights. What a beautiful sunset again. I'm feeling like we're in a painting, in the middle of a painting at a softball field.
It rains all day here, back-to-back days. And then we get to the evening, the AUSL game closes in and the weather starts to clear and we end up with a beautiful night in Louisiana. It also cools it off too, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
so instead of the upper 80s and the humidity, we're in the upper 70s.
It's a good swing on the outer half. Erin Koffel has just had so much power on the outer half. Gets a drop ball outside. Looking for something down against Masson, who mostly likes to stay down with the drop ball, side to side, screw curve. And she's just owned the outer half.
Into right field and fair. Rolling toward the corner, sliding out there is Newland. One run scores, and it's a triple for Coffey, her second of the season.
You can't stay out on the outer half too long to Erin Coffey because this is what she's been doing. That is a changeup, an off-speed pitch, and she's still able to drive it the opposite way. And once it gets past Newland out there, it's for sure going to be a triple potential for Coffey as Wallace is able to score all the way from first base. Good speed by Wallace, good speed in general on this Bandits team alongside that power that they have in their lineup.
That was a focus for Jenny Dalton-Hill and Stacey Newman-Denise when they were putting their draft board together. They wanted to be able to do a little bit of everything. Wanted speed, wanted power from both sides of the plate. This is one of those bats in Bubba Nichols' Camarena that offers the power from the right side. Stacey Newman-Denise, like everybody else, first year as an AUSL head coach. Previously the head coach of the Chicago Bandits when they were a part of the NPF. We talked about this on opening weekend, but this AUSL branding has really brought the Bandits back. They aren't shy about that. If you look on the team's description on the website, talk about reintroducing the franchise.
Yeah, I'm sure they still have quite a few followers and following from the NPF days. That Bandits had a great following many years ago.
One of their legends that was a Chicago Bandit is the reason that we are here right now. This is the Jenny Finch World Series in conjunction with these AUSL games being played. Jenny was a Bandits legend, an Arizona legend, an Olympic legend. And if you go to Rosemont, the street that you turn onto is Jenny Finch Way. I think we might have a special guest tomorrow.
Ooh. Well, Jenny Finch in the house tomorrow, hopefully. She was in the house last night.
Big swing from Bubba. She goes down on strike. Struck out 3 times last night to Rachel Garcia.
Yeah, she did. This down the zone has been giving her a little bit of trouble, so pitchers are just continually going there. Drop ball in the outside corner. Has a little bit of run away from her, too. Drop ball out from the zone. She needed that strikeout.
Delaney Wisz, last night's hero. 3 hits, drove 2 in. Homered last night. Strike 1.
The drop ball that Masson is throwing to these right-handed hitters, it's not only going down a little bit, but it's breaking away from them, almost like a curveball, but throwing it hard, throwing about a ball off the plate and getting them to chase that pitch. Just right back to it. She's throwing that pitch a lot. Drop out, drop out, drop out.
Two-1. That is into center field. Clark coming in and makes the catch. They strand one at third, but the Bandits in front after 1 inning. 1-0. Nothing. Bandits looking for the series win over the Volts tonight in Sulphur. Let's check in with Savannah Collins on the field.
Right now for the Bandits, the preparation is paying off. They had a strenuous spring training, long practice days. Offensively, head coach Stacey Newman-Denise wanted every hitter to have 40 live at-bats, a lofty goal, but they each ended up at around 30. And that was tough on the pitchers and defense, too, being challenged in game-like scenarios. And after their league-leading 3 victories, every game a Bandits player has brought up that strenuous preseason, attributing their early success to being battle-tested at practice and feeling like they stepped into games being in these situations before.
Yeah, last night, Skylar Wallace was talking about in the post-game press conference. I mean, they do continually bring it up and attribute that to their offensive success. And look at the way that they're swinging the bat, Savannah. 30 live at-bats is or 40 at-bats is a lofty goal. They got into 30, as Savannah mentioned, but it's clearly paying off with their approach at the plate and how they're swinging it.
When we got to, well, you didn't get to Rosemont until opening day on Saturday because of the Women's College World Series. When I got there on Friday, though, talked to Stacey Newman-Denise and said it's basically been 10 days. I mean, that was a rapid-fire, sort of training camp for them to try and get to that number. It's ripped into right field by the rookie Michaela Edenfield out of Florida State. First hit of the series for her.
Yeah, finds herself in a hitter's count, and look at how she's just able to attack this pitch that's up. To me, it looks like the Volts are looking for Emily Kennedy's rise ball, and she's had a lot of success early in this game with her drop ball. If I were her, I would go to that pitch more. That was a rise ball in the outer half, and that was just punished by Michaela Edenfield, who has a lot of pop.
Allie Newland in the 9-hole. From Georgia, played her college ball at LSU, though. Selected out of the reserve athlete pool. So there's certain players right now who are still finishing their professional seasons in Japan, which will be arriving soon, so you get a reserve player for something like that. Also injuries, when that's going to happen throughout the season, and hopefully not many of them, but when it does, teams will be able to go into that reserve athlete pool and have access to whatever player they feel like can fit their team at that time. Allie Newland, Mariah Copo, and Miranda Stoddard are the three for the Volts right now. The Bandits only have one, Kelly Torres. Kelly Kretschmann, head coach, longtime part of the professional game, three-time NPF Player of the Year. Slow roller right side. There's Wisz. One out.
Did that one-handed tag. I got a little worried for her. Never know if that ball is going to fly out of your glove. I think I have PTSD from one time in high school. I did that as a freshman in a playoff game, and that's why it worries me a little bit tagging the runner when they're running down the first base line, because I dropped it and it lost us the game. So
oh my.
just a little bit of trauma from that play. No big deal.
Oh my.
Seniors hated me. That's
goodness.
Okay.
Well, hats off to you for recovering well, making something of your career. Sis Bates at the plate. Tough lefty-lefty matchup for Sis down in the 9 spot. 0 for 3 last night. Three-time Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. This is smoked up the middle. Circles there. That was going to be a double play. Edenfield went. And that's going to do it after a very well-hit ball from Sis Bates.
Defense has been on point with runners on base for the Bandits. Got out of a bases-loaded jam in the first, and now this double play with a runner in scoring position, catching Michaela Edenfield way too far off of second base.
The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Mizuno. How about that picture? Kim Ng, Kim Mulkey, Jenny Finch. The stars are in attendance. And look at this windup from Kim Mulkey.
I know. She brings the heat when she gets out there. These first pitches and the way she pitched for the Savannah Bananas.
I think she got ejected after that first pitch for the Savannah Bananas. I just love it. She's fantastic character for the sport.
Yeah.
She just, talking to her last night, of course, promoting the league, talking about her time as a head coach and a Hall of Famer and a national champion. She just gets it. It's so much fun talking to her. You can listen to her talk all day long.
big advocate for women's sports.
That was not an easy trip down these bleachers and out of this stadium for her.
No, not in this state, in this stadium. The state of Louisiana, she's an absolute rock star. I mean, nationally as well. But when you get in the same state, you know you're going to get recognized.
Devin Netz will lead off the inning for the Bandits. Out of Arizona, one of 2 Wildcats on the Bandits. One of 3, I should say. Jenny Dalton-Hill
Yeah.
has her name on the wall at Hillenbrand Stadium as a former National Player of the Year, the Bandits general manager. She's got to be feeling pretty good right now, these first 4 games of the season.
It's all about coming out strong. And I was talking to Sierra Romero before the game. I ran into her, and it's like, she forgets, we all forget that these teams have only been together for a week and played together. And she's like, it already feels like we're connected, like we're playing as a team. And I think it's just as a player, as a competitor, you know that it's a short season. And it's like, all right, we've got to get our act in gear very quickly and turn it on together.
There's a base hit for Netz to lead off the second. For these athletes like Sierra Romero who missed out on the transfer portal era, this is kind of what college softball's like, right? You just get all these new faces together every year for the most part. It's not just college softball, but all the college sports currently.
Yeah, and you have to find a way to mix and gel. Team chemistry and culture is just so important. And each of these teams, each of the 4 teams in the AUSL, playing their first season, getting to set the foundation of that culture and settle the tradition and the new things.
Back-to-back Wildcats. Bella Dayton finished her career at Texas with 3 straight Women's College World Series, but actually played a year with Devin Netz, 2 total years at Arizona, the last 2 of Mike Candrea's storied career. Dayton 0 for 2 with a walk last night. Made her way into the starting lineup in place of Corey McMillan. Showing bunt back to Masson, who kind of slowed down on that turf a little bit and allowed Dayton to get there.
And I was just going to say, with Bella Dayton and over Corey McMillan, you opt for a little bit more speed than power. Corey McMillan, a left-handed power hitter from Virginia Tech. Bella Dayton, a hitter that can lay down a bunt like that. That is great barrel control. Just dead that ball right out in front of home plate. Jesse Warren couldn't make a play on it. You love when you can keep the ball away from the third baseman for the Volts and Warren. And that sack turns into a hit.
Jordan Roberts with a big opportunity with 2 on and nobody out.
It's Bella Dayton's first bunt hit on the season.
Roberts has 3 hits. 2 of them are home runs. 1 in Rosemont in opening weekend and 1 last night. This is off the end of the bat and will essentially be a sacrifice as 2 runners move into scoring position.
That'll be a productive out.
Sydney McKinney, who has made her presence felt on the defensive side of the ball in this game, ending the first inning for Emily Kennedy with a diving play. That gets by Coffey. 1 run scores. Newland Denise waving Dayton around. It's a 3-0 Bandits lead.
Danieca Coffey with the runner at third base was pulled in a little bit. You can see the infield is pinched in, and Sydney McKinney just recognizes that and powers it past her over at second base to score a couple of runs, and the Bandits just continue to put their foot on the gas pedal and score more.
McKinney to now Zirkle. Actually worked together this past year at Marshall. Zirkle, the head coach, McKinney was one of her assistants.
Well, and something that the Bandits have done so well in these first 4 games is just get their leadoff on. Their leadoff getting on base is 10 for 25, and that leads the AUSL. Got their leadoff on in this inning, put together back-to-back hits, and that's just really kind of been what sparked their offense. I mean, when you get that leadoff hitter on, it immediately puts pressure on a defense, puts pressure on the pitcher to have to pitch with a runner on base. They started the season with runners in scoring position 2 for 15. And since then, entering this game, 9 for 24.
Strike 2 up toward the TV truck. Talked about the balanced approach they took in the draft. Zirkle to speed at the top. Then you have the all-around star in Skylar Wallace, who can hit for power and can run. Runner goes, and Coffey couldn't quite pull it in. It's tailing away from her there, and it's a stolen base for McKinney.
And I think that you're really starting to see in this game in particular the athleticism of this offense start to flex. They can hit for power, they have speed, they can steal bases. Like, this offense is really dynamic when it's at its best. In these past 4 games, they're just playing their game.
Three-2 to Zirkle. Inside fought off. Look at this beautiful night sky in Sulphur, Louisiana. Up and in, ball 4. Tough start so far for Mariah Masson.
Rachel Garcia was slotted to start this game. She was a probable starter that was announced a couple of days ago before the series got going, and Garcia was the starter for game 2, but last night's game was so close, and you could tell that Kelly Crutchman, the head coach for the Volts, just wanted to find a way to win that. Once her offense got them back into the game and took the lead, they put Garcia in, and unfortunately didn't come away with the win, even despite her throwing such a great game in relief when she came in for Sam Landry. But point being, that mixed up their rotation. Their plan didn't go as planned because of that extra inning game and the way that the Bandits just fought back and knocked Sam Landry out fairly early, brought Garcia in that close game.
That's the tough part of the coach. Got to live with those types of decisions, and that one didn't pan out. See if they mix anything up tomorrow, because overall this pitching staff, Garcia, Landry, Gottschall, Masson, have been really good to start the year. They are missing Sam Shao, who will add another arm into the rotation.
We're going to see if this hits Skylar Wallace again, and it looked like it did, but honestly it kind of looked like it hit her in the river. So even if it did, her elbow is hanging out over the river. It looked like she kind of moved her elbow into the pitch anyway.
Now ahead 3-0. Dangerous spot with Wallace. Gets this one into center field and down. That's going to be an RBI for Wallace, and the Bandits up 4-0. The offense just eating right now for this team. It's
a drop ball in to Skylar Wallace, and It's up a little bit. That's a drop ball in. Should be a little bit lower than that. Had more curve action than drop action to it. Because it's more up in the zone, she's able to barrel it up. Runner in scoring position, speed at second base. Gonna score all day on that. Remember, Sydney McKinney stole to get herself to second base, and that scored a run for the Bandits.
Then you hand the bat off to Danieca Coffey, who's been automatic early in the season, 5 for 11 at the plate.
Well, against this Volts lineup, you want all the runs that you can get. Last night, the Bandits left 11 on base. Ended up going to 9 innings last night. I'm sure we had so many opportunities to put more runs on the board and just finish them off. 11 left on base last night, only 3 of the past 2 games before that.
Upstairs ball 2. 5 of their 6 have reached in this inning. Inside to Coffey.
If you're wondering what that noise is in the stands, it's the boomsticks that all the players got, I guess, when they entered in. So that's what you're hearing in the stands. Everybody's really into it.
There's a walk to Coffey. The base is loaded now. Where are yours?
I left mine at the hotel. Try to get them home back to Austin, though, with me.
There you go.
There they are. Those don't look like they're getting put to as good a use as some of the other ones that I'm seeing that are right in front of me. Those look like more just like a prop that she's holding, but there are some that are really getting a lot of action out of the boomsticks.
Just a little sly comment there. The one's right in front of me.
Right in front of me to the right.
They're going to make a pitching change.
Yeah.
It was a tough performance from Mariah Masson, trying to pass off some information to Peyton Gottschall. Just 1 out in the inning, and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 2nd for Gottschall in her 2nd professional season. Out of Ohio, played her college ball at Tennessee. That's where she finished. Started off at Bowling Green, was the MAC Pitcher of the Year in 2022. But helped Tennessee to back-to-back SEC titles. Went 36-7 in her 2 years for Karen Weekly and a 1.49 ERA.
She has really good stuff. And a completely different look than the rest of the pitching staff because of the way that she can spin her curveball. Both sides of the plate, just has major spin and movement to those pitches, creates a lot of swings and misses. Sure, again, Kelly Kretschmann was not wanting to go to her so early in this game, but forcing the hand with the bases loaded and the way that the Bandits were just seeing Masson. Their approach at the plate has been so good.
The inaugural season of the AUSL features the Bandits, Blaze, Talons, and the Volts playing across the nation this summer. 10 different cities in the AUSL regular season and championship, and you don't want to miss it. Visit theausl.com to buy your tickets today. AUSL, this is legendary.
And it really is. Everything about it so far truly has been legendary. Sellout after sellout. Game in Chattanooga had tons of people tonight. I wonder if we get that game going yet?
Belted to deep center field. Clark going back toward the wall and makes the grab. It will bring another run in off the bat of Bubba Nichols Camarena. The Chattanooga game officially has been postponed tonight.
Oh.
Doubleheader tomorrow. And we saw the crowd too. Kenzie Fowler, who's on that
So
call
good.
with Mark Neely, posted that video on X with the line in Chattanooga. First game at noon Eastern tomorrow.
They'll need to show back up tomorrow for a doubleheader.
That's a big one too. 2 teams in the Blaze and Talons who feel like they need that series right now. Coffey at second, Wallace at third. Wisz, ground ball up the middle, Bates has it. They do strand a pair and limit it to a 4-run second inning, but all Bandits so far this weekend in Sulphur.
We sure have been talking a lot about the Bandits offense, but how about their defense going back to yesterday's game when Morgan Zirkle cut down a runner at home in extra innings? That was an extra inning game, an extra inning win for the Bandits. And then early in this one, bases loaded, Sydney McKinney lays out for one. And then another Morgan Zirkle play in the first inning that turned into a double play. So Morgan Zirkle doing it all. Oh, she also has the first in the park home run in AUSL history. Morgan is with us now. Morgan, how's it going out there in center field on defense?
There she is. Morgan, how's life in center field for the Bandits?
It's good. It's a no-fly zone out here. That's what we were just talking about, because they're putting the ball on hard and they're a good hitting team. So hopefully we lock it down out here.
Morgan, Amanda mentioned it. You have the first inside the park home run in AUSL history. You have the first hit in AUSL history. Like, how special is that for you? You've been playing this game so long.
Oh, it's super special just to see this league come from the ground up in 2020 and how much it's progressed and how many awesome players are, you know, dying to play in this league. It's a really special honor.
Leadoff hitter back to the top of the order, Amanda Lorenz here in the third inning.
Morgan, we have heard a ton about just the prep before season and the at-bats that you guys took, and it just seems like it's paying off. But how do you feel like it's paying off, all that prep before the first game?
Yeah, I mean, we hit off our pitchers a lot, and I think that was a big advantage for us, especially for, you know, me coming in, not have seen live since last season. So it was great to face our great pitchers. I mean, we have 6 on staff, which is different than other teams, and to face them is a great you know, leg up coming into these games.
Lorenz on for Danieca Coffey. Nobody out here in the third. Morgan, what's it like now? You're a head coach, but playing for a long-time head coach, and Stacey Newman-Denise, tell us what she's been like as the head coach of the Bandits.
It's super cool to learn from her, just to see how, you know, she's a little bit laid back, but yet she can also tell us when we need to, you know, when we need to focus in and get the job done. So it's been cool to just have another head coach that I can learn from and, you know, model myself after is really cool.
How do you rewire, like, from coming from Marshall as the head coach and running your program all year long, and obviously still having to do that in the off season, but how do you kind of rewire it to get back into player mode?
I mean, honestly, it's pretty easy, you know, just like riding a bike. You get to do what you love, and it's on the other side of it. So all season, you know, you're wishing you could get in there in the box, and then now to finally be able to do it. And then you face a little adversity, and you're like, okay, you know, I see how this game is. So it's fun to be back on this side of it.
Tiare Jennings now with 1 out in the inning. Lorenz on first. There's another chance for defense and a double play. Morgan, thank you for the quick inning. My goodness.
Thank you.
There you go. You're talking defense with Morgan Zirkle. There's defense.
These double plays keep happening against the Volts ever since those extra inning double play when Morgan Zirkle threw out the runner at home. We've had a couple more now. Line drive, and these Volts hitters just wandering a little bit too far off of first base. Skylar Wallace turns this one, and the Bandits, just their defense and their offense are rolling.
Nothing Bandits. Offense, defense, pitching right now. Everything is coming together for them in just their 5th game of the season. Up to a 3-1 start. Devin Netz leading things off. Let's get to know Devin a little bit more.
My name is Devin Netz, and this is my player profile. My pregame superstition is always putting my right sock on before my left. I don't know why. It's always been like that. My favorite kind of music is country music. You can find me line dancing, two-stepping. When I'm in my car, you can always, you know, hear me playing country music. My favorite emoji, I think, is, you know, the birthday one with like the confetti, and also the fire emoji. I like that one. If I had a superpower, I think it would be flying. I think it'd be really cool just to, you know, not have to go through all those security checkpoints, terminals, all that, you know, connecting flights. I think it'd be so cool to just get from one place to the next. And that's a wrap.
Very practical, the superpower. Like, of course you'd want to fly. It's perfect.
And being invisible or fly, those are pretty high on my list. Or maybe going back in time.
You're sneaky. The invisible, you're sneaky.
Oh.
Netz trying to start things off against Peyton Gottschall in the left field and didn't smoke it, but placed it perfectly and turned it for two. It's going to be close. She is out at second. It's a little hesitation, and Netz frustrated with herself.
Bandits have been making the defensive plays, and now is going to be time for the Volts maybe to grab some momentum with defense here. Amanda Lorenz makes a perfect throw to second base as Danieca Coffey goes down with the tag and gets the right hand of Devin Netz. She was trying to get the outside part of the bag. I thought maybe her hand got there, but the tag was perfect to actually knock her hand off of the bag. Well played by Amanda Lorenz as that hit just fell in there down the left field line. Great tag right down to the bag and definitely got her, and Devin Netz knew.
And Coffey knew it too. That was a big reaction from her at second base. Volts need it any way they can get it right now. Just a bit of momentum. Dayton ahead in the count 2-1. Got a number of national teams represented in the AUSL lineup of players. Bella Dayton, one of a couple Italian national team members, along with Erica Piancastelli. Andrea Filler in past seasons has also been a member of that team. The bunt's down. Warren with a bare hand to a knee. Oh. Dayton is flying down the line tonight.
She really does fly down the line. Jessie Warren, this is why you want to try to keep any bunt, any hit away from her, because even when it seems like the most perfect bunt, the perfect hit, Jessie Warren is going to make a play on it. Bella Dayton gets down the line so fast, but how did Jessie Warren make that throw? Her knees are sliding on the turf. She's throwing against her body, and it still was a close play at one.
So the same play last night. She made a really similar play in Series 1 of the Season 2. She trains the glove really hard. Just have to think, how many times has she made that play in the offseason, just working on it? That might have been a miscommunication in foul territory. I don't know if it hit something. Kind of awkward over there.
It seemed like it was in the air a while, and I don't know if it hit the top of the net. We just couldn't see it from our spot. But Tiari Jennings playing first base. Not used to seeing her over there. Bit of shuffling of the defensive lineup in the infield and outfield.
Runner goes, throw down is in time. First time a Volts catcher has retired a runner. A little chest bump from Peyton Gottschall from Michaela Edenfield.
You can feel, again, another defensive play trying to grab the momentum. As you mentioned, base stealers were 9 for 9 against the Volts before this throw from Michaela Edenfield right here to Sis Bates. Just barely getting in there. That's a bang-bang play at second base. Another great tag at 2.
Bandits have 2 hits in their first 2 hitters in the inning and nobody on. And Gottschall with the strikeout of Roberts to basically go 1-2-3.
The defense stepping up in a variety of different ways. A couple of outs at second base, and then Gottschall with the changeup strikeout. A 1-2-3 inning for the Volts.
5-0 Bandits over the Volts. A lot of young softball fans in attendance who are trying to play in the Jenny Finch World Series this weekend, but the weather in Sulphur has not been overly cooperative the last couple days. Rained all day yesterday, all day today, up until about really an hour before first pitch. It's turned into a beautiful evening, mid-70s with a light breeze.
It's amazing we've been able to play.
Yeah.
And on time. Last night we were an hour delayed.
The sun is shining on the AUSL right now.
That's right.
What a great atmosphere at all of the venues that have been played out so far in Wichita. Rosemont here in Sulphur, and Chattanooga was set to be that tonight, and instead a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 12 Eastern. Can the Volts bats get something going? Mackenzie Clark leading things off, 4-5-6 against Emily Kennedy. She's retired 4 of the last 5 that she's faced. After 3 of the first 4 reached base in this game.
I think her drop ball has been the most effective. Really threw a lot of pitches in that first inning.
23 in the first, just 19 in the second and third. You've seen a lot of Emily Kennedy at Texas A&M. Why can she be a star in this league in the circle?
Because she can go both up and down, and the fact too that she throws with such good velocity from the left-hand side. It's just such a unique look. But when she came into A&M, she was more of a drop ball, curveball pitcher, so down in the zone. And Coach Ford worked with her to become more of a rise ball pitcher, actually be more up in the zone, just simply based off of how her body moved, how her arm circle moved, and felt like that was going to be a better fit for just how her body moved, was to become more upspin. It was the first All-American from the left-hand side at A&M in like 40 years, since Lori Stoll, another left-handed pitcher at A&M back in the 80s.
(3-2), right side, and off the glove of Wisz at first. Clark is a leadoff runner here in the 4th. Let's check in with Savannah with more on Emily Kennedy.
Well, Amanda, you mentioned it. She used to throw that curveball a lot, and Coach Ford actually took that pitch away from her junior season. And I asked her, hey, any chance we're going to see the curveball? She said, yes. I feel like I've kind of forgotten how to throw it because it's been 2 years, but you'll start to see that pitch worked in more. And the reason Coach Ford did that was to really challenge her. It was her go-to pitch, and she transformed her career. But you'll start to see that one in her repertoire again this AUSL season.
Yeah, we just showed her college percentages, and sometimes those pitches get tagged in synergy and they're tagged wrong, so it showed a percentage for her curveball that actually didn't really happen, because when you talked to Emily Kennedy last season, the only pitches that were called were changeup, drop, and rise for her, because Coach Ford took that curveball away. So that started out as something they just did in the fall of her junior season, and then she threw it a little bit her junior season, but this last season, her senior year, that curveball did get completely taken away, and it was rise, drop, and change that she would throw.
Tricia Ford led Texas A&M to the #1 national seed this year. Upset by Liberty, but that's a program that you feel like is going to have a ton of success with her at the helm, and already has, as Garcia walks. So nobody out now, and Kennedy in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the 4th.
That's some bit of bad luck. That hit off the bat of Mackenzie Clark should have been caught by Delaney Wisz, and then you get a walk to Rachel Garcia on 4 pitches. There's been a couple of those with Emily Kennedy in the circle, 4-pitch walks, where she just loses command of the strike zone. But then the best part about that is the last time that happened, she attacked the next couple of hitters, got ahead of them 0-2, 1-2.
Warren against Kennedy. Could this be the Volts' chance to get back in this game? Strike 1 to Jessie Warren. Warren out of Florida State. Takes that pitch on the outside corner.
That changeup has been looking really good for her. That's not a pitch that she was super comfortable with throwing in her college career. Progressively got better and better, but honestly, me seeing her throw that pitch here has been the best that it's looked for her in her career since I've seen her throw. It's a pitch that she absolutely is going to have. I mean, even if you throw 70 from the left-hand side, which is very unique, you still have to find a way to change speeds.
Got Warren swinging.
Doing the same thing again, 4-pitch walk, and then she goes right at the next hitter. Getting Jessie Warren to chase this rise ball up in the zone. She's not had a lot of chases on that pitch tonight. In fact, it's been looking like early in the count they've been looking for that pitch, either just taking it or having good swings off of it, but that's a big K for Kennedy.
Volts just 1 for 7 with runners on tonight. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Edenfield led off the second with a single.
Their offense is somewhat quieted down after those first 2 games. In the first 2 games, they had 24 hits. In the last 2 games, entering this one, just 11 hits.
Runs that pitch inside, ball 3. And that trend kind of going up and down right now. Faces the second of back-to-back Seminoles in the Volts order. 4-pitch walk. Stacy Newman-Denise out of the dugout to have a word with Kennedy and potentially make a change here.
I think they're probably going to leave her in to face a couple of lefties coming up in Allie Newland and then Sis Bates at the bottom of the order, kind of see how she attacks these 2 hitters and then go from there with the top of the lineup due up for their 3rd at bat off of her.
The defense has come up big for her once before in a very similar situation. Had bases loaded with 1 out in the first. She got a pop out. Well, 2 pop outs because Warren's was the diving catch by McKinney in foul territory. Newland grounded out to first base her first trip up. Swinging first pitch into left field, and there's the defense again. Nichols Camarena for out number 2.
She got a great read off the bat because I truly thought off the bat that one was going to fall. But Bubba immediately recognized it and knew exactly where to go. There was no hesitation on her read whatsoever, and it's a tricky read too as a line drive to an outfielder, but they needed that second out.
Sis Bates lined into a double play out to Zirkle back in the 2nd inning. It's a really well hit ball. Kennedy thought that might have caught the outside corner. Was close.
Both of these, a couple of pitches that have been really close. I thought that first pitch, that changeup, should have been a called strike, and now here she is again in a 2-0 count. Sis hit the ball hard off of her in her last at bat.
Bounces back with strike 1. This is just Kennedy's 2nd professional appearance through 2 innings of relief on opening weekend against the Talons. Now 3-1 and has to come at Sis Bates.
Especially with Amanda Lorenz on deck. If you're Sis Bates, you're thinking that there is going to be something good to hit right here. Bases loaded, nowhere to put her, leadoff hitter on deck. You have a chance to get a good pitch right here.
And that is strike 2. Bounced away from Roberts for a second. Big spot in this game. Kennedy Wants a new one. Volts 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Just 1 for 9 with runners on base. 3-2. Bates left side. There it is. Comes through. And the first run of the night for the Volts is across. This Bates fired up after that, AB.
It's a great at-bat by Sis, and that's actually going to be her first hit of the season. Coming in clutch from the 9-hole, getting production from that 9-hole spot. Bases loaded, full count, knew she had to come to her. And Sis just attacks that pitch for her first RBI and first hit. She's pumped.
Almost see a bit of relief there from Sis Bates. Like, yes, finally, she's hit the ball hard a number of times, especially that first at bat tonight. As Kennedy's night is done, it was a pretty productive one too. 3 2/3. She is responsible for the bases loaded as they enter another rookie, Devin Netz out of Arizona. Second appearance for Netz, first in relief. Gave up 2 earned runs in 2 innings pitched on opening weekend, but the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year and a second-team All-American out of Sierra Madre, California.
Only throwing a couple of innings, not much to go by in terms of being a professional, but excited to see her pitch again. Big opportunity for her to come in, give a completely different look from the right-hand side than what Emily Kennedy was showing these Volts hitters. And the first hitter that she's going to have to face is one of the best hitters in the world right now, and Amanda Lorenz.
Have you checked out the AU Pro Shop on Instagram? They've got new arrivals, restock alerts, giveaways, and exclusive promotion just for followers. Head to Instagram and follow at AU Pro Shop today to connect with our merch team. First pitch to Lorenz. Strike 1 from Devin Netz. Lorenz 0 for 1 with a walk. Goes after this pitch, right side for Koffel, and that'll do it. Devin Netz comes in. It takes 2 pitches, and she strands the bases loaded. Volts get 1 in the top of the 4th inning, still trailing by 4 in this game. Kind of a great crowd here in Sulphur. Late night softball on World Softball Day, 9:10 local time. Back tomorrow night for Game 3. Expecting another big crowd on Saturday night in Sulphur.
I mean, the AUSL just has such a huge support staff that travels with them. We have an MC, a DJ, a rally squad throwing out T-shirts, getting the crowd involved. I mean, everybody working the merch stands. I mean, everywhere you look, this game is fully supported from each individual team to the entire game operations. It's just really incredible, the investment that has been put into this. I mean, you can't see it maybe while you're just simply watching the game and just tuning in, but from our seat and what you see, it's just really incredible.
Everything that's going on at the games too, the braid bar, which we've talked about,
where
you can go get your hair braided.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I don't have that head of hair. It's really unfortunate. It's really upsetting for me.
I think they could pull something off with it. If you just grow it out a little bit and you don't get a haircut for a while, you could get in on the Goody braid bar.
Yeah. (9-1-2) for the Bandits here in the bottom of the 4th. McKinney off the handle foul. From a league perspective, in the first week of the season, this is day 8 of the AUSL. What has stood out most to you? What have you enjoyed most?
just how good the games have been, and I just feel like every player is locked in.
Look at this. McKinney locked in. Big swing to center. Sydney McKinney from the 9th spot with her first home run of the season and gets that run right back. Locked in.
My goodness, Sydney McKinney is just such a well-rounded player. There's so many on this Bandits team that have the speed and power. Turns on this curveball, sells out for it, gets her barrel there. And that ball was crushed off the bat. You just knew. That's 230 feet to center field, too. An absolute bomb off of her bat. That's the 9-hole hitter with her first home run of the season.
(6-1).
So big to answer back, as you mentioned, to get that run back. Makes your pitchers feel better, makes your defense feel better. I mean, the message that sends to a pitcher like Emily Kennedy, who gave up that run, hey, we have your back. They got out of the inning with an Amanda Lorenz ground out and answer right back with that home run. It's huge.
Zirkle goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Gottschall. To your point, the Volts, a team that scored 15 runs in the first 2 games of the Blaze series, had 24 hits in those first 2 games. They were the only team who didn't select 2 pitchers with the first 2 picks, and then really kind of that went even further. They didn't take their second pitcher until round 6, and it was Peyton Gottschall. Part of that, Kelly Kretschmann told us, they knew they had the first pick in the college draft, and so of course you have someone like Sam Landry, who you feel like can bolster your staff from that position. 4 of their first 5 picks were on the offensive side, led by Amanda Lorenz, who was the first position player off the draft board.
Well, again, they've just done such a good job with their leadoff hitter. Their leadoff hitter is batting about 500 in the season so far.
One hops up on Jennings. Wallace unable to beat it out. 2 outs. Let's check in with Savannah.
Sid, your first home run of the season. Take me through the at-bat. What felt good about that swing?
Honestly, Coach Mike has been working with me and Morgan Zirkle on inside pitches the last couple weeks. I'm not sure if you can see my eyes, but so we just been working on get my barrel out, tight turns, and I knew I was going to get it from Pigot. I grounded out on it twice yesterday, so that was really my plan going in, just getting my barrel out, being on time.
Okay, I've noticed in spring training, you and Coach Latif really locked in, talking about your hands, your stance. What's been the biggest game changer for you? Kind of had that breakthrough moment.
He's done a lot of like drills with little doohickey things.
I had to see one of these doohickeys.
Yeah, they're really cool, but they feel weird in the moment, but they really translate for me, and the way he explains it is really good. So it's been fun to work with him and just like work with Zirk, because we're so used to working together, and just finally see the breakthrough instead of ground out the second.
I feel it. I'm coming to figure out what those things y'all are working with on, so we'll have more on that soon. Thanks, Sid.
Savannah's going to be getting in on the doohickey things, and she's going to be ready to drive the ball out of the park in no time, working with Michael Latif, former Louisiana head coach, longtime head coach, just down the road in Lafayette. Known for how he coaches hitting, for sure.
It's a big swinging Louisiana team and era for the Raging Cajuns as Coffey takes first base on the walk.
I'm sure Coach Latif would be happy to work with Savannah and turn her into a hitter. Got a lot of time on his hands, I'm sure. Just kidding, as these teams are traveling all over all the time. More games to be played coming up.
These teams will head to Wichita next. All 4 teams in Wichita on Tuesday and Wednesday, double headers those 2 nights. We'll be there for those. And then we will head straight to Norman, Oklahoma. And that is the final weekend of kind of the first half of this season. So take a 2-week break, kind of an international break, almost like they do in Europe with soccer teams. You let the players go with their international teams.
It's good comparison. I know you're a soccer fan.
I'm always going to get soccer in when I can. You get the F1 in, I'll get the European soccer in. Bubba Nichols-Camarena drove in a run with a sac fly. She was the first batter to face Gottschall back in the second inning. And Bubba with a nice defensive play out in left field last inning. Three-two.
Keep going to that off-speed pitch, low and away. I mean, these pitchers have been working her hard. Different speeds on the outside corner. They saw the success that Rachel Garcia had against Bubba in yesterday's game with a few strikeouts.
Inside this time. Bubba hit that a mile foul. Bubba was the youngest member of that 2020 Olympic team. Her head coach, Stacey Newman-Denise, was the youngest member of the 2000 Olympic team that won gold. Just waiting for some new softballs right now.
Yeah, that one ended up on the roof over here, and everybody was waiting for it to come down, and then waiting, and it finally rolled off.
It's like when you're throwing the tennis ball off the roof, and then it gets caught in the gutter.
Yeah.
Ripped up the middle by Bubba. Two-out base hit, and now runners on first and second.
Past couple of ABs have to feel good to her. Sacrifice fly, RBI in her last at bat, hit early in the count, drove the ball deep to the outfield, and then working this count deep to be able to get a curveball that just ended up back over the heart of the plate. Shoots her right back up the middle.
Down and away, ball one to Delaney Wisz. Left side, that's off of Warren. It hopped up and got her, and the inning continues. This is a little bit of an uncharacteristic night from a Volts team. We haven't seen a lot of them. Haven't seen the execution offensively. It just hopped up and got Jesse Warren, maybe skipped off the turf.
That turf keeps the velocity of the hit going. Doesn't really slow it down, just skidded off the turf and right into her. Bandits need to take advantage of this opportunity here with the bases loaded now after that error by Jesse Warren.
Devin Netz, a pair of singles tonight, both of them off of Gottschall. Came into a big spot in the circle last inning and stranded the bases loaded to keep runs off the board for the Bandits and off of Emily Kennedy's line.
Look, at this point in the game, you're thinking about a run roll. You have the bases loaded in the bottom of the fourth inning. You're up by 5 right now, have a chance to drive in more. And with Devin Netz in the circle, she'd love to help herself out.
More important here than college, right? Because you're going to see these teams so often. If you can protect your pitching staff, not letting them have reps off you, I'm sure they'd love that.
Rest everybody a little bit.
Stacy almost caught that over there in the third base coach's box off the ricochet.
One of the poles is blocking my view of Stacy, so I think you were able to see that.
She's close. She reached out with the glove hand. That's a catcher move, too, because that was hit hard. That was not a soft foul ball.
Fearless over there.
Two-two. Ball 3.
It's a good eye by Devin Netz. I think that was a little bit too far outside going with their curveball, but she has to come with something more over the plate here, and Devin Netz has the power to punish it.
Crowd into it for the rookie from Arizona. Fouls another one off.
Peyton Gottschall will really mix speed, so she'll throw her curveball on both sides of the plate or at her highest velocity. So backdoor, meaning inside to these right-handed hitters and away from the right-handed hitters, so a firmer speed, but will also mix in that pitch as an off-speed curveball like the last pitch that she just threw to Netz there.
And another foul ball from Netz off Gotcho. I mentioned Peyton was the 6th round pick for the Volts. She said that Kat Osterman texted her after the draft and welcomed her to the team, and Peyton said she was so excited she screenshotted it and sent it to her family that Kat Osterman had texted her, said she loved watching her growing up.
I like that pitch right there. That's that backdoor curveball, Chucky, that she'll throw inside. So as a right-handed hitter, it looks like it's coming at you, and then it crosses back across the inside corner.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat upcoming.
Devin Netz is seeing just about everything from Gottschall in this AB. It's going to be up to her, I think, to get on time with something that's outside and drive it to the right side, or if she goes back to that inside corner, find a way to keep it fair, pulling a lot of those pitches foul.
Netz, center field. Clark is there and makes the catch. Peyton Gottschall strands the bases loaded.
But don't forget, a while ago to lead off this inning, Sydney McKinney, a solo home run, the first of her season. The Bandits had given up a run, and Sydney McKinney got it right back.
To your very own LSU Tiger, Danieca Coffey.
Receiving the golden ticket, knowing I was going to go play professional softball, was very great because I knew everyone was there that had poured into me, invested into me, loved me since I got there, and so it was just nice to celebrate that moment with everyone.
With their final pick, the Volts select LSU's Danieca Coffey.
When I got drafted to the Volts, I was just ecstatic. I just really love playing the game. So just being able to continue to play the game and help evolve the game and be around the game so the next generation can keep growing it too.
Danieca Coffey's golden ticket moment in Baton Rouge, so special. Jenny Finch there to deliver it, but her reaction after, takes the picture with Jenny Finch and then jumping back into her team was so cool.
Really cool emotional moment for her.
It was interesting too because she knew. Beth Torina, and when they saw Jenny coming out, and they just kind of knew because that was the option for LSU based on the senior class and Coffey's performance, and still had that emotional reaction.
Especially what that meant for her too after coming off of her injury. Tearing her ACL the year before.
Played just 16 games in 2024. Those full seasons, put together 3 seasons of 69 or more hits.
Well, when she was coming back after her rehab, she couldn't slap until November, which was deep into the fall, and then remember season starts in February.
Netz gets her swinging. First strikeout for Netz. She's retired both batters she's faced.
Look how tight this rise ball is. Up and in on the hand. This is a good looking pitch through the zone. Wow. Oftentimes you see Devin Netz go down, but that is a great location of the rise ball.
Talked to Sydney Stewart, Arizona's catcher at regionals this year. She was talking about the pitching staff. Arizona at the time, 8 pitchers on the roster, so Stewart had to get used to all of them, and she said, Devin brings the fire. And she was talking about how you deal with the different pitchers. She said, Devin Netz, she'll bring the energy for you.
You can feel it when just the pace in between her pitches and the intensity that she takes her steps in between pitches.
Ooh, there's a thunderous landing on the roof of McMurray Park.
It reminds me of the thunder that we heard literally all day. Just rumbling thunder. It was like when my stomach is a little bit hungry, that's how the thunder was all day long.
It's aggressive.
Just being honest.
Tiare Jennings at the plate, working against Netz. 1 for 2 tonight with a single after the 3-run shot last night. Talking it up with Jordan Roberts. Ground ball left side. McKinney picks it up off the line. 2 outs.
It's a big out to get Danieca Coffey and Tiare Jennings, who has been so hot. Devin Netz coming in relief of Emily Kennedy and getting 3 quick outs.
Volts only left 5 runners on base last night, but in their back-to-back losses in Game 3 to the Blaze and Game 1 of this series, just 1 for 10 entering tonight with runners in scoring position. Last inning, they sent 7 hitters to the plate and only got 1 run. The opportunities have been there. And the Bandits would tell you the same thing. We showed the numbers on how many they've left on base last night.
And how about the Bandits pitchers too, just doing such a good job of limiting the extra base hits. They've only allowed 2 extra base hits in the series so far. Both came last night, and the 10 singles. So did a good job in this game of keeping the Volts in the ballpark.
How do you find the balance on the, put your coaching hat on for me, with pairing pitchers that work well off of each other and are a different look versus also weighing the matchups?
It's a lot to balance, because you don't have a ton of options too. Like in college these days, it's like you'll have a pitching staff of 7, 8 pitchers. Right now they have 4 or 5. I think actually the Bandits have the most different options because Devin Netz can play the field and pitch, but I think all the coaches are still trying to figure that out with who will follow who best. And right now it's looking like Devin Netz can follow Emily Kennedy very well.
This is hit high into left center field. Nichols Camarena has it. Devin Netz has faced 4 batters. She's got 4 outs, and the Bandits are up 5.
Bandits continuing to lead the Volts. Welcome back to Sulphur, Louisiana, as this AUSL game continues. And last night, I got to tell you all about my experience eating crawfish. I've got another true Louisiana snack for this game, as we're going a little bit late tonight. So this is an Aunt Sally's Creole praline. This was delivered from Jade Hewitt, the AUSL photographer who's from Baton Rouge, but these came all the way from New Orleans just for us to try tonight. I've yet to be disappointed by Louisiana food. Oh yeah. I'm into this. Kind of sweet, a little bit of like a saltiness to it too.
Oh yeah.
I like the crunch. What do y'all think? I know she delivered y'all to some too.
Mine's long gone, Savannah.
Oh
yeah,
and
no,
Amanda's
I'm into
not
it.
sharing.
I knew it was going to be a late night finish, so I was saving some to be able to have a little bit before the game, a little during, and then a little after. So
Chucky, you got to pace it. We've got a long night and a late one.
No, you see, I have no portion control. I have no self-control when it comes to food, so it's... Jade handed it to me. By the time she explained where they were, it was gone.
Aunt Sally's. I actually had an Aunt Sally, and my mom's name is Sally, so maybe they need to get this recipe, or she needs to get this recipe and start cooking it up.
All the connections.
Yeah, thanks to Jade. She's the best. She is such a good photographer. All the amazing, or not all, but a lot of the amazing shots that you see are done by her and fellow photographers on the AUSL team. They're just incredible. Again, goes to the show all the different people that come here and support the AUSL in all these different roles.
I think our favorite day or two of the years when they creep up to the booth and we're like, oh yes, great working pictures for us. Thank you.
Oh, they take such good pictures. On the new Topps cards as well.
Seven, 8, 9 in the 5th for the Bandits. Bella Dayton down in the count 1-2 to Gottschall, who's been good in relief for the Volts. Into left center field. Lorenz calling it, and it's a little scary for a minute. We had a collision last night with Clark and Romero. Not that time.
Yeah, and in fact, we have some defensive changes on the infield and just some changes in the outfield as well because of some injuries. So Sierra Romero, based off of a collision with Mackenzie Clark in right field in yesterday's game, not playing right field, but Danieca Coffey will go to third base. Spades will still be at shortstop. Tiari Jennings is over at second. And Mary Iacopo now is playing first base. Or excuse me, Miranda Stoddard, that is.
Inside corner, strike 2 to Jordan Roberts.
But the Volts have a lot of infield options. They have a lot of versatility on the infield, can plug and play a lot of different people. You've seen that already this season through 5 games. So with Kelsey Stewart-Hunter also being injured day-to-day right now, Sierra Romero not starting today's game.
Strikeout for Gottschall. At the very least, in this game, not over yet. Still 2 more chances for the Volts at the plate, but you have Peyton Gottschall, who's getting some confidence in the circle right now.
Yeah, she needs this inning after a longer inning that she just went up against in the 4th. Gets a strikeout at Jordan Roberts with that low rise ball and a couple of quick outs that were much needed for her in the Volts.
Runs the first pitch inside to McKinney, who homered off of her to lead off the 4th inning. 3 1/3 for Gottschall. 4 hits, just the 1 run and 3 strikeouts.
Bandits had 11 hits last night, 9 hits tonight.
Dangerous team right now. Up the middle, there's hit number 10. And that's a 3-hit game for Sydney McKinney.
It's funny, that's another inside pitch. The last time she came up, she hit that home run on an inside pitch and hit it over the fence because her contact point was more out in front. But this time, more of an inside-out swing where she's just able to barrel it up right back up the middle of the field. But different contact point, different result where it's just a hit up the middle versus a home run. Again, though, seeing that inside pitch well that she told Savannah about in her interview.
First pitch misses to Morgan Zirkle. Zirkle into left field. Lorenz waving her hands. Gottschall retires 3 of the 4. Nothing doing for the Bandits in that inning. Smiles for Bandits players and their fans. Volts fans trying to will their team back into this. 2 more chances here in the 6th and 7th innings, but as it stands, the Bandits could win their first 2 series in AUSL history, and they will be 2 games ahead of the pack in the AUSL standings. Just 5 games into it, but we've talked about how quick this season will go by.
And the goal is just going to be to win series. I mean, if you can sweep, that's just going to be an added bonus, but that just is feeling like it's going to be hard to do with how evenly matched all the teams are. Just trying to win series, win 2 of 3.
Garcia at the plate. No hits in her last 9 plate appearances. There's 1 walk in that span. And it was earlier tonight. Takes strike 2.
Let's talk about, too, we saw those little kids in the stands, like the pack stands, all these young players getting a chance to watch these incredible athletes in person. It's been awesome. almost 4,000 people here last night. One of the biggest crowds that have ever watched an AU softball game.
Sold out the original ticket allotment, so they reopened it and sold some more tickets. There were young players standing all around the netting, behind and around the backstop. One-two to Garcia. Ground ball left side, McKinney. One out. A week from Monday, we'll hit the halfway point in the season, which will be 12 games played for every team here. This is where it stands so far. Talon's Blaze game postponed tonight. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 12 Eastern. But the Bandits could move to 4-1 and have a 2-game lead on the pack. Left field, Miranda Stoddard deep and at the wall, and Bubba can't come up with it. Looked like that was carrying into the night. Stoddard, though, stands on second with one out.
It was a great swing by Miranda Stoddard, who entered into this game for Jesse Warren, and I thought that was out of here off the bat, and it just died. I don't know what happened. And then Bubba Nichols tried to find the fence. Looked like her foot got maybe slipped or got caught just wherever the fence meets the ground. It's going to go down as an error on Bubba, as I thought that it should as well.
Stoddard in scoring position for Michaela Edenfield. She rips this one to left field. Foul.
You can tell that the new approach is to swing early in the count. Couple of first pitch swinging, that other one by Stoddard that went to the wall, and then that one there. So then you get a change up. Okay, you're going to be that aggressive. We'll change speeds on you then. You're looking for something hard early? Okay, here's a change up.
Netz working with a great pace, too, in the circle right now. Got her swinging. 2 outs.
I will tell you, you love that as a pitcher. When somebody hits a foul home run off of you and there's all the oohs and the ahs and it's a deep hit and you get to eventually strike them out, I'm not going to lie, that feels good.
21 of the 23 pitches from Netz have been strikes.
It's something that, unlike Kennedy, threw well at her first start, but it's something that she's going to need to definitely work on. It's something that she struggled with in college, too. Just too many walks got her in trouble, where it makes those innings be a little bit longer, especially the 4-pitch walks. I'll say that changeup has looked the best that I've seen it. And I think that she has a lot to grow off of in terms of her confidence with her start. And then obviously, Devin Netz looking really confident. Her relief outing coming in for her.
Against Newland, who thought she had driven in at least one with a really nice swing to left field that Bubba took away from her. There's strike 2.
I think Devin's ball is really moving tonight. Good spin, not throwing through her spin, changing speeds well.
Low and away, ball 2. Newland spent the year as a grad manager for former LSU assistant Lindsay Leftwich at NC State. Slow roller right side. There's Wisz. And Netz allows one runner on the air. Nothing doing again for the Volts. Great team performance for the Bandits so far. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Mizuno. Bandits with a walk-off win in the 9th. Delaney Wisz, the hero. Former UCLA Bruin, all smiles after driving in the winning run off Rachel Garcia. And another fun night if you're a Bandits fan.
That was one of her most favorite games she's ever played in.
I mean, how crazy is it? That's what we're hearing from the players, how much they're enjoying being on these teams and getting used to these players and the relationships that they're building right now.
Oh, it's a game changer, and you're hearing it left and right from all of them.
From the fans, too. We saw it last weekend in Rosemont. So many different teams being represented, jerseys, shirts. Skylar Wallace leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Up the middle, base hit for Skylar. And now into second. Awkwardly slid into Sis Bates. It's that speed from Wallace. I'm not sure that Sis was loving what happened there, though.
I started to write down single in my scorebook, and then she just doesn't stop. She has so much speed, goes hard into second, and then because she's on the turf, she goes so hard in sliding, she just kind of keeps going. Sid's kind of backing up to get closer to the bag, and she's continuing on. So being a little bit of an incidental collision there.
Fortunately, both of them look good and checking on each other, which you like to see. So much speed for Skylar Wallace. Talked about McKinney, kind of the two-way power speed. Wallace might be at the top of that list in the league.
We've really seen the Bandits push their speed button tonight, big time. That's 11 hits now for them, taking extra bases. We've seen a steal. Remember earlier in the game, Skylar Wallace scored from first base on an Aaron Koffel triple.
Into right field. It's a little off the end of the bat out toward Newland. Wallace up to third. Would you like a chance to win a custom AUSL Rawlings glove? Now's your chance. Register at the AUSL.com/win. You're just ignoring my questions now.
Well, I was trying to think about if Alicia Ocasio's glove is Rawlings, because I didn't want to say I want a glove just like hers if it wasn't Rawlings, but I just really like the colors in her glove, and that's how I would make mine.
She's got the all pink, doesn't she?
It's all pink,
yeah.
and it is beautiful. So yes, my answer is yes. I would like a Rawlings custom glove.
Bubba into shallow left for Lorenz. Wallace tagging up, but stays.
Skylar Wallace knows better than to run on her fellow Gator friend out there, Amanda Lorenz. A couple of hard steps, but not going to challenge it.
Talk about keeping pitchers up at night. I think if those two would have crossed paths at Florida for Tim Walton.
No doubt.
Strike one from Gottschall to Delaney Wisz.
It's funny how it's kind of been the same story both nights. That both starters get pulled and relief pitchers come in and do well. Both starters give up runs, although Emily Kennedy just only gave up 1 run, so they made a quick pull just trying to prevent any more damage off of her. And Devin Netz came in, but Devin Netz and Peyton Gottschall doing a nice job of just settling the game down.
Wisz questioning that, thought that was a little down in the zone. Strike 2 from Gottschall. $11 hits last night, 11 hits tonight for the Bandits. Ground ball back at Gottschall. fires it to first. Another 0 for Peyton Gottschall. They trail by 5. Top of the order, though. Amanda Lorenz to come up second. (6-1) Bandits lead the Volts. Last chance here in the top of the 7th for the Volts to try and string something together. 9-1-2 coming up for them. Still a lot more softball to be played this weekend. Tomorrow, a doubleheader in Chattanooga starting at noon Eastern. Game 2 there will come 30 minutes after Game 1. An important early season series for the Talons and Blaze, who both sit at 1-2 apiece after opening weekend. And then we finish things up at 7:30 Eastern tomorrow night in this series. And could be a chance for a sweep for the Bandits.
Are you seeing that there's softball on TV all day tomorrow?
All day tomorrow. Bates spins to third, and Sis has the wheels to beat that out for a leadoff single. 2 hits for Sis Bates tonight.
First 2 hits of the season, and talked about Bella Dayton's speed, and then Sis Bates really turned it on about halfway down the line to just safely for the throw. Start a rally here in the 7th. Talked about, though, the schedule coming up tomorrow in Chattanooga. All these games just matter in this short season, but what they're playing for is a chance to play in Tuscaloosa in that championship series, Chucky. That's what it's all going to come down to in July. The top 2 teams to fight for the championship to be the first.
Historic facility in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Rhodes Stadium, the Rhodes House. You know, Kelly Kretschmann, the head coach of the Volts, wants to be there. Been a legend at Alabama as Lorenz grounds out for out number 1.
So the top 2 teams will meet up in a best-of-3 series in Tuscaloosa. Come on, Tuscaloosa fans, or Alabama fans at Tuscaloosa, sell it out. Some of the best crowds are at Alabama softball, and that's where we're gonna have the championship series, best-of-3. I'd get a ticket if I were you.
You know who Alabama fans want to make it?
Well, they have a lot of different options.
They do.
Who are you going to say?
I'm going to say Montana Fouts.
Yeah, definitely the Talons and Montana Fouts.
Were you spinning the wheels trying to figure out what team Haley McKinney plays for after she hung it up last year?
I did think about Haley McKinney for a second, but I was torn between Kelly Kretschmann and Montana Fouts, and then Haley did pop into my mind because she's synonymous with Alabama softball. So
Haley McKinney, a legend of the sport, hanging it up last summer. 0-2 to Danieca Coffey. It's fouled up and out of play. This has been a relief pitchers series.
Yes.
Netz has been great for the Bandits tonight. Last night it was Odyssey Alexander. For the Volts it was Rachel Garcia last night. And Peyton Gottschall tonight. Into left field, Bubba turning and makes the play for out number 2.
And to think about, too, that the Volts are trying to win this series, and we haven't even seen Taylor McQuillan yet pitch for, excuse me, the Bandits are trying to win this series, and we haven't even seen Taylor McQuillan pitch for them yet. Just great pitcher. Haven't even had to pitch yet in this series.
We talked about that last night. To get a win when Lexi Kilfoyle maybe doesn't have her best stuff. That's tough to do in this league. McQuillan's made 2 appearances. Both of them have been out of the bullpen. Just 4 innings pitched on the season. I would imagine if the Bandits do make a run and challenge for the first ever AUSL championship, McQuillan will be a huge part of it. Devin Netz not making the decisions any easier on Stacey Newman-Denise, though, because just expanding her options even further with a great pitching performance like this.
And we'll see if Sarah Willis gets a start tomorrow. She was the probable starter when the series got going, that she would start Game 3. So, I mean, the Bandits are in such a good position that they're entering Game 3. 2 of their pitchers haven't even been seen.
Popped up, Roberts. That'll do it. The Bandits take the series 6-1 winners in game 2.
It's a great all-around game for them. Pitchers did it in the circle. Defense showed up. Offense put up 11 hits, scored early, put pressure on the Volts to just play from behind the entire game. And even when the Volts did score, they answered right back with a Sydney McKinney home run. Complete game performance all around for this team.
Tough start to this series for the Volts. They'll try to avoid the sweep tomorrow night in Sulphur. Great defense for the Bandits, great pitching. The bat's still rolling. It's a tough team to beat right now. For Savannah Collins, Amanda Scarborough, Casey Carter, Brad Sheldon, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. So long.